This is Art Market Minute from ArtNet Pro. I'm Margaret Kerrigan. Today we're taking a look at the work of Jack Whitten, a true trailblazer whose current retrospective at the Museum of Modern Art in New York is captivating audiences and critics alike. Born in Alabama in 1939, Whitten moved to New York in 1960, soaking up the energy of the city's artistic giants and experimenting fearlessly with materials and techniques. From his groundbreaking slab paintings using afro combs to the intricate Greek alphabet series, Whitten pushed abstraction in bold new directions. But despite his longtime renown among fellow artists, Whitten's market is only slowly gaining steam as his paintings finally get the recognition they deserve. I'm joined by ArtNet's senior art market reporter Eileen Kinsella, who did a deep dive into the artist market recently. Welcome, Eileen.
Great to be here, Margaret.
So you do a regular feature called The Appraisal, where you look at the current market of an artist, and in your recent appraisal of Whitten's work, you noted his auction record stands at $2.6 million, which was set in 2019, just after his death in 2018. But his work is still considered undervalued compared to some of his peers. Why do you think that is?
Well, a lot of it comes down to the fact that while Whitten's art is incredibly innovative, he didn't receive the same institutional exposure during his lifetime as other abstractionists of his era like Gerhard Richter. That changed in 2014. That was the year of Jack Whitten, 5 Decades of Painting, a well-received survey that traveled to the Museum of Contemporary Art in San Diego, to the Walker Art Center in Minneapolis, and to the Wexner Center in Columbus, Ohio. One Sotheby's specialist told me that the market for Whitten prior to 2014 was close to non-existent. And to date, Sotheby's has sold the 4 priciest Whittens at auction, including the $2.6 million work that you mentioned. It's a 1974 canvas called Special Checking, and it sold for more than 5 times its high estimate. Another key moment for Whitten's market came shortly after that in 2016, when Mega Gallery Hauser & Wirth began representing him. The firm's interest in him is said to have been sparked by one of its other market stars, Mark Bradford, who has cited him as an influence.
That's interesting. So what are collectors looking for in a Whitten painting?
That's a great question. He makes for an interesting market study because he has such a wide body of work, and he's approached so many different practices. But the most sought after are his slab paintings and Greek alphabet paintings. However, a lot of his works are now already in museums or private collections, so it's rare that they come up for sale. The ArtNet price database lists a total of just 80 results for Whitten. In 2021, only 12 lots were sold, and a grand total of 4 works came to auction last year.
Given the scarcity of major works on the market, what does that mean for buyers if one does come up for sale?
Well, the dearth of available masterpieces means that there can be fireworks when one comes up for sale, and it puts the estate in a commanding position, letting it trickle out work as it sees fit. And everyone agrees that there is substantial room for his prices to rise, but only time and market machinations will determine how high they will soar.
Well, then we will have to wait and see. Thanks so much, Eileen.
Thanks for having me.
That's it for this week. You can get more details on these stories on news.artnet.com. Make sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts to stay up to date on the latest news in the art market. And please also take a minute to rate and review us to help others discover what we're doing. Art Market Minute is produced by Sonia Manalili and me, Margaret Kerrigan. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.